He's a bird who has never flown. 50 years old, can barely walk without stumbling, falls off his perch. Most shelters would say his needs are just too much. But one person looked at him and thought, maybe all he really needs is someone willing to walk beside him. Literally. This is the story of a 50-year-old red lord Amazon parrot named Sunny. Now, let that sink in for a second. 50 years old. This bird has been alive longer than most of us have. Not much is known about Sunny's past. He was surrendered to an exotic bird sanctuary about 3 years ago, but the details before that? Mostly a mystery. What people do believe is that Sunny was likely wild-caught, meaning at some point decades ago, he was taken from the wild and spent most of his life in captivity. He has never been seen flying or even opening his wings. Think about that for a moment. A bird who may have never used the one thing birds are made to do. Things got harder for Sunny at the sanctuary. He started falling off his perch. His balance was deteriorating. At his worst, he'd roll completely over and couldn't right himself. He spent a few weeks at a bird hospital, and it became clear the shelter just couldn't give him the level of care he needed. That's when they reached out to one of their weekly volunteers, someone who'd known Sunny for years. They asked, "Would you be willing to foster him?" And without really knowing what she was getting into, she said yes. So what does life with Sunny actually look like? He's on medication for his heart, for pain, and for his digestive system. He likely has arthritis in his spine. He can't perch on his own anymore. He stumbles sometimes when he walks. But here's the thing. None of that seems to bother him. He's never lethargic. He doesn't sleep during the day. He's just here, living his little life. His foster mom takes him on walks 3 or 4 times a day, about 5 minutes each. She picks him up, carries him to different spots in the house, and encourages him to walk by wiggling her fingers. And he does it because at the end of that walk, he knows he's getting head scritches. The walking helps his balance, it gets his system moving, and compared to where he was at the bird hospital, he's doing so much better now. His favorite things? Staring out the window, chewing on toys, and pasta. This bird loves pasta. Getting him to eat anything else? That's a whole negotiation. You know what I think makes Sunny's story different from a lot of rescue stories? Nobody's pretending he's going to make a miraculous recovery. He's not going to fly one day. His health isn't going to suddenly reverse. This isn't that kind of story. This is a story about someone who looked at a 50-year-old bird with a bad spine, a weak heart, and no ability to do the thing birds are born to do, and said, "You deserve to be comfortable. You deserve head scritches and window views, and yes, even pasta when you want it." She didn't know what she was getting into personality-wise. Turns out, Sunny is a very lovely boy. And it's looking like this foster is going to be a permanent one. He's happy there, and she's happy to have him. Sometimes that's all a rescue story needs to be. All right, I'm curious. How many of you have rescued an animal that most people would have passed on? The older ones, the ones with health issues, the ones nobody else wanted. Tell me their story in the comments. I want to hear every single one. And if Sunny just reminded you that not every rescue has to be dramatic to be meaningful, hit subscribe. We share stories like this every week. Quiet ones, loud ones, and the ones that just sit with you for a while after. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.